Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. December's here, Christmas is rapidly approaching, Wargaming are trying to sell us as many premium tanks as they can in the gift shop. Yeah, some things never change, right? But sometimes you've also got to slow it down and just be a bit relaxed, you know, you've got to embrace that Italian fire and try and play some auto-reloading Italian medium tanks. Somebody who doesn't seem to be quite so chill right now is Lenin, who's playing an E75 on my team, who is claiming at the start of the battle that I will eat their souls. Now, being a keen Aphex Twin fan, I thought that this was like a come to daddy reference, so I just decided to blurt out at the start of the battle, come to daddy, but unfortunately the E75 doesn't respond, so whether he was actually meaning that or not, or whether I was just catching the wrong end of the stick, I don't know. I just look like a maniac, though, putting come to daddy at the start of the battle. And you know what? Sometimes in your +2 matchmaking, you can feel like that. And it sounds like the E75 says, oh, it doesn't seem fair having to fight against the tier 7s. All right, well, E75, you take it away then, bud. You go and pick up, you know, get those 10 kills, get 12 kills, do a million damage, buddy. Carry me, then, if it doesn't feel so fair. And we'll see how this battle pans out. Alright, so I'm playing in the tier 9 Italian auto-reloading medium tank, and this has to be one of my favourite vehicles at tier 9. Now when I got this vehicle, I thought, it's got less than 2000 DPM, it doesn't really have any armour, has 9 degrees of gun depression, I believe, or is it actually 10? I need to just triple check on that. Oh, don't want to be caught, otherwise people will be telling me in the comments down below. Oh, actually, this one's got 10 degrees, which is unusual because the tier 10 variant, the Progetto 65, has 9 degrees of gun depression. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like this vehicle so much at tier 9. Now, well, it doesn't have the best size. It's basically like a Leopard prototype with an auto-loader. Well, an auto-reloader, I should say. It doesn't have the best DPM. It takes quite a long to be able to reload those 3 shells, and they only do 360 alpha damage compared to the 390 alpha damage standard that you would be used to on 105mm main armament if you've been playing some of the top tier medium tanks. But the fact that this vehicle is so darn flexible that it can play that single shot role, you know, when you're just trying to harass at long range, but also go ham and unload an entire magazine to try and take some chancy shots at the enemy team. Just feels absolutely great. And as long as you know that you've got pretty much about like 30-40 seconds to be able to reload the entire magazine, that 3-round magazine on this tank, then you can afford to let rip. One thing that does really suck about this tank, however, is the 3-second intra-clip reload. And oh god, I actually tracked my T54 Mod 1 there. Apologies to him. Hopefully I'm going to say sorry to the guy. There you go, I actually stopped. Say sorry in between killing the Scorpion. It maybe gets me hit a little bit, and now I crash into a T20. Maybe I'm panicking here. Maybe I should have tried to get in some cover or just killed the Scorpion before I apologized to the T54 Mod 1. But that also kind of emphasizes my point that, yeah, that 3 seconds intra-clip reload, or the delay between the shots of this auto-reloader, is very long indeed. It just feels as if you're giving the enemy a chance to return fire, and if they've got good reactions, also pull back around the corner. So one thing that I think is great about the Standard B is if you just play it in single shot mode. Now if you play it in single shot mode, then of course you just reload another shell after 11 seconds, and then, well, 11 seconds minus, you know, your gun rammer and all your crew skills and so on and so forth. But then you don't have to delay and interrupt your second reload, if that makes sense. So it actually massively increases the DPM of this vehicle, and as soon as you don't play it in single shot mode, you really lose a lot of DPM with that 3 seconds intra clip. Alright, one person who's going to be losing here is that Leopard prototype as we shut him down. But we know that there's a very sneaky Sturro Mill, and irrelevant of me pinging him a million times, my team doesn't seem really too bothered. The T20's ignoring him, T71 ignoring him, so I've got to try and take it into my own hands to try and press the Sturro Mill, put one into him and finish him off with the second. And then the T34-100 manages to put a round into us, and right now I was just thinking, I'm probably going to die. Might as well fire the third there, because here comes the artillery barrage, right? QuickyBaby's on 114 health, 3,400 damage and 3 kills. That's a good game by any standards. Hopefully my team is going to be able to go on to finish this one off, because there's only 12 seconds left on the game, and we're up by 3 kills, right? Yeah, nice and easy. Well, yeah, not so fast. The enemy are actually going to manage to pull off an amazing interrupt. I believe it was artillery that interrupts somebody in the cap circle. I don't think the OHO reset there, or maybe the VK got a shot round the corner. We'll have to take a look in the post-game stats to see who gets the defender badge. Now, when you're fighting on Muravanka, and you've won that southeast location, when you're trying to push across the west here, it's just so darn dangerous. And you can see that I'm starting to realize, oh, are the enemies making a bit of a comeback right now? We're only ahead by 2 kills, and they've actually pressured the cap circle, and they've got all of their heavies clustered in a nice defensive location, with an AMX who seems to be hunting down our self-propelled gun, and suddenly this game doesn't look so clean. I was thinking, we've got this one in the bag, right? But no, not anymore. So I don't want to be the first one in. I want to let the T-71 spot for me. Let this T-20, who's on pretty much all of his hit points, manage to catch the eye of the enemy team and maybe receive their focus fire, because when you're on 114, you really don't want to get caught out right now. So we put 1 round into the GW Panther and turn our attention to the Scorpion. Oh, did I actually fire a little too early? Oh, terrible play there. You'll see that I actually fired so early that I didn't manage to reload the second shot. And so now I only have 2 rounds in the magazine, but I'm waiting to be able to before I fire, because otherwise I'm going to go so deep into the magazine. For anyone who doesn't know, the auto-reloading mechanic in World of Tanks, if you actually fire before the shell goes in, then you lose all of the progress of that round. And so you can absolutely destroy your damage potential. And so by waiting, even though I had that shot on that AMX 1375 for the second one to go in, we can actually then fire the next shell immediately afterwards and shut down the tier 7 French light tank. And a good thing too, because this game is now starting to look probably favorable for the enemy team. They've got 2 tier 9s left, 7 kills between them. One of them's on very high hit points. They've got a Lerva and a VK in support as well, 2 tier 8 heavy tanks. And I'm with tier 7s now. It's me on 114 hit points and 3 tier 7s versus some rather dangerous players. And they're not slouches by any standard. They're pretty decent players. This 704, an exceptional player. And I'm really hoping that this one's going to fly right into the top of his tank. There we go. Good stuff. Nice one. We shut down the tier 9 Soviet tank destroyer. And now I can try and make my way to the middle of the map. Now, who remembers when I was playing with a Royal Screw-Up? And a Royal Screw-Up spotted a T-49 who was using this location of the map to just absolutely annihilate me when I was playing in my tier 9 Polish heavy tank. And so I'm going to use this position now to hopefully mess around with their heavies. It's all about learning in World of Tanks. When you've been completely obliterated in one position, then why not use it when the next opportunity arises? And this was one of them. Oh my lord, though, I cannot believe that second round with 268mm of penetration fails to go through the side of the VK100 there. And I'm going to blind fire to kill the Lerva, but I really didn't want to have to do that. And did you see that even though I had 2 seconds left to be able to reload to the hand and have 2 shells in the magazine, because I fired a little bit early, because I felt like my hand was forced, we actually now only have 1. So we had none, sorry. And now I decided, well, why not just load the heat? Because you can't load premium rounds and you can't load high explosive rounds in this tank 1 by 1. And so I thought in this scenario, considering I'm shooting at the VK and I bounced off him with my standard rounds, maybe I'll go heat here, try and finish him off. This is going to be a tense shot. Will we blind fire him? Yes! Good stuff. We shut down the VK, but now the T10 appears. And we picked up our 9th kill of the game. This is neck and neck stuff right now, and the T20 is asking for help. I'm communicating how many shells I've got. I say affirmative. I'm going to try and get over there as quickly as I can to weaken this T10 before he manages to quell the T20 on my team. Right, there we go. Not long to aim. I'm thinking, is he going to advance? He kind of hesitated on top of the ridge there. We get spotted. We put 1 into him. He's got 656 hit points, which means we're going to have to penetrate at least 2 shells if we want to take him down, and he shuts down my T20 friend. I'm hoping that T10's going to make a mistake and crest the ridge, but he's not going to do that. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, it's the battle of the Pools medal versus the battle of the Radley Walters here. Good luck to you, Mr. T10. Is this going to be a heartbreak, or is QuickyBaby going to be able to take down this 1 versus 1 against the T10? All right, so I know his last location, so I'm going to go up into the bush here, and I'm just going to sit up because I think I'll be able to get a nice ambush. All right, so I fire one. I'm firing through a bush, so he's not going to spot me. And here we go. Heat round through the upper plate. Oh, no. Okay. We don't manage to penetrate the T10 there with the second heat round, and I'm a bit worried about staying in this location. I fire 1 blind, and I think... Did I see the shell ricochet off? I'm not even sure if heat rounds can ricochet. I guess they can if they hit a very, very, very well-angled surface. Irrelevant. He's still in it to win it, and this is starting to get a little bit tense. So I'm still using this bush, but I'm not wanting to go too far up into the bush, because... If he knows what he's doing, he'll know that with those ricochets and also the couple of rounds that he received, exactly where my tank will be. I'm thinking about working more bushes. I'm just trying to get vision up on the D10. I really want to know what he's doing, because as soon as you've isolated an opponent in a 1 versus 1 situation, if you let them go, especially on quite a hilly map like on Muravanka with lots of undulations and ridgelines that you can hide in, and so many bushes that your opponents could sneak out into and then provide view range from, it is very, very dangerous indeed to let that go. Nevertheless, with 5 minutes left on the game, I feel like my best bet right now is to try and slowly approach, probably from the northern position here. I'm using these bushes to try and get some vision across and just trying to bait him as well a little bit. Hopefully, if he does catch a glimpse on me here, I'll still have enough time to be able to escape. But I'm also using the rings on my minimap. This is something that you should do in your medium tanks. My camera rating in my Standard B, while my crew are not exceptional by any means as I move them up into the Progetto 65 when I kind of finish this tank off, I think I have fairly good concealment, at least at about 400 meters from the T10. I would expect to outspot him as I am using coated optics. Alright, so we whack our way up into the bush here. Alright, well I decide, let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to cap. I know where he was last spotted. I am going to come for him. And I'm just hoping that we're going to spot him here and he's not going to be thinking that we're going to be flanking him. Going to work towards the edge of the map, but instead I decide to use this bush. You can see I'm clearly looking at that bush, thinking at the time, maybe if I crest up here, then I'm going to spot him. I flick my reticle over his turret, see that he's not looking at me, and so I know it is safe to engage, and wham, right into the side of the tier 9 Soviet heavy tank, and yeah, I'll take 10 kills. And while I guess the E-75, Lenin was feeling guilty at the start of this battle about killing all the tier 7s, I just felt so sorry for him, you know, that he felt bad about it. So I guess I should say thank you for Lenin, because he obviously just decided to try and make this game as challenging as possible for me. But I must say, commiserations to you, Ekos. You gave me a nail-biting game here. I'm pretty sure there's not much more you could have done, and a shout out to you for putting up such stiff competition in this battle. Nevertheless, a standard game of World of Tanks. No, I'm not going to try and pull that one off. This was anything but a standard game of World of Tanks. Definitely one of the better ones that I've had recently. Pools medal for 10 kills, something you don't often get in your tier 8, 9, and 10 tanks. 1,477 base experience points, hitting every round apart from one. But I must mention, due to those heat rounds that we fired at the end of this game, we barely made a profit with a premium account, and we would have only broken even with a standard account. And also, a big mention should be made to Shumi Steel on our team in a T20, a tier 7 medium tank, picking up 2,700 damage and 1,235 base. I definitely couldn't have done this without you, bud, and I hope you appreciated me getting revenge for you on that T10 at the end of the battle. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up, but if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching this video as it's released on Sunday, it's time for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Showcase on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And this week, well, for the first time this year, I'm going to be showcasing the original Tier 10 Soviet heavy tank. It is the IS-7. So come along right now as I showcase the entirety of the original Soviet heavy tank tech tree, so you can see if it's a line that's maybe worth grinding, or if you've already got the vehicles, maybe pick up a few tips and tricks. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to be interested about whether this tank is still competitive now that we've got tanks like the Object 277 in the game. So I'm really looking forward to seeing as many of you as possible right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.